Whoa. Whoa. We're back. Hi.
We are back, and the highlight has been made.
I see that, and you even labeled it as in me playing IRL, or did you switch me over to IRL when I started eating the sandwich?
No, I just made it an IRL for the highlight because you weren't really playing 14 when you did that.
Yeah. Foxes and wolves are almost the same thing. Uh-oh. You cheeky bit. Wait, no. Anyways.
That's 2. You do not want me to get to 3.
Wait, what happens when we get to 3?
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
You don't even want to know. I'll bring the sandwich. I will bring it back.
Oh!
I will serve it to you for lunch.
Well, Laurel, don't you still have some Pop-Tarts and Velveeta lying around? You could just serve it to him every morning.
Very good point, Al. Thank you.
So, Laurel, thank you so much for the generosity and gifting the sub to Sly Wolf. Sly Wolf, you have a month free of the emotes. They work here and all across Twitch and Discord as well. Welcome to the little sub club we got going on. Yeah. This is Dungeon World. Dungeon World is like D&D, but better. And we're going to be playing some.
And all of our D&D people just went, screw you, and they left.
Screw you, and they left. I don't think we have any D&D people here. Some D&D people are going to come out of the woodworks and be like, bitch, what did you say?
Henry and Fallen Angel are D&D people.
Yep. So, Pook, would you like to tell the audience the ongoing, a brief synopsis of the ongoing story?
No. I mean, wait, what? Actually, no. I'm still trying to get that taste out of my mouth by eating real Pop-Tarts.
Dio.
Yes.
Would you be so kind as to give the audience a brief synopsis of the ongoing story, since Pook is having trouble?
Sure. So, our heroes. Oh, it's really weird seeing Lachlan on the screen, Martkos. I can't.
Wait, what?
Your picture is
Yeah,
Lachlan.
you have your pictures set to Lachlan. I don't have pictures turned on.
Yeah, I don't have my pictures turned on either. Okay.
So our story is about these little adventurers, Jaylin and Kethra, who started off in a thieves guild way far away in a land called Farland. They were magicked away to this new land, went through some adventures, lost some friends, made some new friends. Our party is currently Jaylin and Kethra, Rothgar, and Alexandra, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Wow, you forgot my fucking name?
Well, we don't know which variation of Alexandra you're using.
You're also showing as L in my thing, so and we don't have the characters on the sidebar. We also have a changeling with us who is not currently present today. Up to this point, they've been trying to get Jaylin's memories back. It turns out Jaylin is a werewolf. He is actually the prince to the werewolves in this new land. Yeah, we're helping him retake his kingdom.
That's been completely and utterly. Basically, here's what we know. This is the kingdom before, and this was happy werewolf land, right? And now here's unhappy werewolf land, right here. And this is what we're invading. And I guess we're in some kind of tower, and it's dark.
It's a dark tower. You had just successfully defeated a bunch of undead that sort of animated when Alexandra's magic did as it will. Alexandra did not respond well to having her magic out of control. And so she set the room on fire, creating even more magic. And all the things that you were fighting died. And it's you guys and some, I believe they were dwarven knights, who are the sent by your ally, King Noggin, Mithril Leg, and he and his forces are attacking elsewhere in the city, as are some humans who are dissidents from the Elvish Isles, and particularly a island called Rune Shadow, where they were being enslaved by the elves, and they managed to break their way free after meeting you guys. And so, as you're coming out of this chamber that was at the basement of a tower and emerging into the city proper, you can hear sounds of combat and whatnot going everywhere. And you see the one person, the um, uh, uh, priest of Visano, who had escaped you down below, is present outside the tower as you emerge from it. And rather than running away, he took his energy and he called for help. And what he called are two huge forms that, out of character, are called Warforged. And to the characters themselves, simply look like very big animated suits of armor with some kind of metal figures wearing them. And they are making that same sound that the mechs in Final 14 make as they're walking towards you. You know, that very metal kind of thunk, 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 thunk.
Nope. Never heard it. Can you do it again for us?
Thunk, 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 thunk.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What are you guys going to do?
Leave. Are these like the same automatons that he saw when he was scouting and told people to not engage in battle with these? Or
yes.
Well, is he a werewolf right now? Either way, he's about to be. Because he's gonna have to put himself between them and the party.
I think if I remember rightly, Rothgar is like full wolf form right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's lupus.
He's lupus. You know the terminology. Yes.
See, when you say lupus to me, I just think like you're a little wolf, not like a werewolf.
Well, he might be Hispo, but yeah, Hispo is direwolf. But yeah, Hispo is basically the equivalent of, like, I hate to bring this up, Twilight. The wolves they turn into, how they're larger than normal wolves, but they're still wolves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I hate it because it's like the only thing that I have as a reference, because Twilight's fucking shit, but there you go. It's never lupus? Okay. It's never lupus. I too
when I had
house.
Yeah, side topic, never mind. Carry on.
So yeah, Jaylin's gonna shift, but he's also gonna hold up his shield. He's gonna be a werewolf with a shield and a sword. And he is gonna prepare for a fight that they shouldn't be having.
Yes.
Excellent.
And Kethra is going to cast Bless on Jaylin because she wants her boyfriend to come out of this alive.
Excellent.
Yeah,
so these sounds coming from, like, here? This corner here?
Yes.
Okay. Then Rothgar is getting ready as well.
Yeah, so it was like, so they're like probably side by side.
Yep.
Normally he would like Jaylin to have something to say about what they're doing, what's going on. Like you could tell he's nervous about this because he's just silent. He just shifts and steps up.
And congratulations, I didn't fail. You will have +1 for the rest of the fight.
Yay! +1 to die. At least he's not on fire anymore.
I am glad you're not on fire.
It was one time.
Ha!
Oh,
Right.
okay. I was not on the new map.
Yeah, we're both over here, but
Yeah.
this is literally the hallway that leads to this hallway. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why I was over there for a little bit. I'm like, it's the same difference. We're technically probably actually over here.
Yes.
But
Alrighty. And
that's the
you
way I
see
like
the-
it. Copper.
You see the priest who goes, who shouts, "Kill them! Kill them all!"
Minu priest.
And it is time for everyone to roll Defy Danger, because these big creatures are taking out huge weapons that are about 12 feet tall and pointing them, and they're starting to glow and fire at you. Kind of like lasers. Arcane blast.
Yeah, and that's something I've never seen before. Defy danger based on get the fuck out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
+1 to this.
Can I defy danger by casting a spell?
I wouldn't recommend it unless it's something that's a shield.
It
I
would
would like-
literally be she's gonna raise up the ground in front of her as a shield.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Okay, and you can do that.
I would like to
And-
defy danger via a wisdom roll using spell defense.
Absolutely. All right. Everybody succeeded in getting out of the way. Elle, your shield is good enough that you will be able to do it again without rolling during this particular combat. You'll still have to roll for everything else, but this particular maneuver, you at this point in time, you were one with your magic.
Yay!
Old tip.
This is not. Oh my god!
Looking at Jaylin confused.
Alrighty. Rothgar.
Yes.
Having. What would you like to do?
Hmm. So these, you said there's obviously something controlling these, like a person in them, or something. Like they're not like the skeletons. They're not animated. They're not kind of.
Actually, they kind of are like the skeletons, only they're not made of bone. They're made of metal.
Okay.
And it almost looks as if the metal itself was alive in some weird way.
Right. Hmm. Do we go for the priest or do we go for the metal thing? You know, I was fighting the priest in the previous scene. He fled for me. I'm annoyed at this. I am going for the priest.
Go for the priest. Go for the
Okay.
priest.
So I'm just charging over to him and leaping onto him. And we will go strength. Yay.
OTEP?
It's supposed to be the other way around. Okay.
I feel like OTEP is the question,
six,
and yay is the answer.
Yeah.
It,
OTEP?
I appreciate it either way around.
There we go. 8
All
damage onto the priest.
You hit him solid and hard, and you have him pinned to the ground, underneath you. And he's fumbling to try and start to get a spell off, but you have him in a very precarious situation. There's nothing he can do to you at this time. Jaylin.
Yeah.
The priest is down. Your Rothgar has him, so it's just these two. And they're firing magic at your group. Alexandra's earthen shields seem to be very effective at negating the magic.
Laura, see this bottom kind of metal? So does that that would have to go through me to get to the rest of the group, right?
Yeah, is it down here in this hall?
The halls are actually more like roads, and I should say it's more like they're kind of there.
Okay.
I should make there. It's more like this.
Okay. Well, this is getting.
So
this is slightly worse than I thought.
That this one here doesn't have quite enough room because of his friend to get to the others. Without stepping right across you, and he might.
I'm going to charge shield first at this one.
Do it.
That way, if it shoots at me, it hopefully hit the shield. And if I can get close enough, then I'll hack and slash. This is a hack and slash roll, I suppose. +1 to this roll. That's a 7.
Why we bless the paladins.
And he's like, what?
Okay. Roll your damage, deduct 5.
No. I don't want to deduct 5. 4. I still do 4. Okay.
Good job. It actually does. It's one of those things where you threw up the shield, and the edge of the shield itself cut a slice in its metal. And nothing leaks out. There's no blood.
They do not bleed.
It turns around and it's going to try and just, that weapon that I had mentioned where it was blasting before, it's just going to try and swing the side of it at you now that you have closed distances. And sure. You go flying back, and you take 15, but I think you have 4 in armor, so you take
11
as you hit the side of a building, and it's turning to face you and to try and fire again.
He's in a really bad spot because he was already down 4 hit points from the last fight. That's fun. Yeah, 2d10. 2d10.
Alexandra.
Yeah,
2d10
I'm
is
gonna
fucking
shield
crazy,
Jaylin.
especially 2d10 plus 2. Wow.
Okay. This other one is going to fire at Jaylin. But it hits your shield. And so Jaylin, you saw like the two of them were the second one was firing as well, and all of a sudden Earth rises up for a critical moment, and it just hits the Earth and nullifies the arcane blast. So you have a chance to recover. Kethra,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I see Jaylin take the hit. I know he's still hurt from the last fight. I am going to cast a cure spell. I'm going to cast Cure Moderate Wounds.
Absolutely, roll that.
Nice.
And I get to heal you for 2d8. Oh no, and all of my spells going forward are -1 as long as Jaylin is blessed. So it's still a 10.
It's still a 10. Roll 2d8.
4.
Is it this character or is it Victoria that you've got your level added onto that? I know you've got it. I know you've got it on one of your clerics. I can't remember which one it is.
It is this one.
Okay.
What level are you?
Wait. Yeah, it is this one. And I am level 7.
So that heals 11 points of damage.
Yep.
Can I do something as the heal is happening?
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Nobody's.
What would you like to do as the heal is happening?
I would like to trigger my elemental rage.
Okay.
Just because he can only rage when he's at certain hit points. So
Gotcha.
So he's now raging. And then healed.
I will allow that. Because I love you, and because you didn't call me a bint a third time.
Oh no, I'm saving that one for later. What's up, Toadin? How you doing?
Alrighty, Rothgar, you have a pinned priest.
I do.
Minu priest.
Yeah, and I figure it timeline wise, like when Jaylin attacks and you hear they don't bleed. Jaylin would then hear the growl from Rothgar, which he would understand as, but I bet this one does. And I just want to go for his throat, seeing as I'm standing on top of him. Bite at his throat. So it'll be another strength check. This is good. I like.
That's a...
We're now up to 4th. Good.
You tear out his throat.
And I would, just for the sake of story, the blood that I get from that, I've hit 5th stage, so I now frenzy. So I'm now like full werewolf form, I guess.
Absolutely. And furthermore, I don't know how long that lasts.
Till the end of combat.
His blood, being a priest of something pretty demonic, it is going to the duration may last a little longer. We'll see.
Okay.
Because you feel that surge of just dark power and fury, and it just takes you to a primal place.
Oh god, is it like when I was under control of the priests?
Yes, except at this point in time, there's no one holding the leash.
Right. Oh god. Awesome.
And you feel, Jaylin, when Rothgar rages and you're doing your elemental rage at the same point in time, that primal, you just hear him, you feel him, your own fury is unleashing. Make a Constitution check.
Why you do this?
Don't botch.
+1. 8.
Whoa.
It's an 8. And don't say the words "don't botch" to me, you bent.
Yes, Al. Absolutely. You barely hold on to your humanity. What would you like to do?
Alright, so the Elemental Rage, this is his first time ever using it. He is now, obviously, still in his werewolf form, he is now, he gives it like a bone-chilling howl. And he is now surrounded by mists and wisps of very cold air, like it's like ice. But it's flowing, so it's still like water. So he's got and anything he comes into combat with has -1 armor, and then they lose over time every turn they're within his radius or within range of him. They continue to lose -1 armor as armor starts to become more brittle and break.
Interesting. Cool.
And he is charging right back in.
Do it.
And he's like, +1. 7. It's a hit, barely.
It's a hit. Roll your damage. Subtract 5.
4 now. They have 1 less armor. It's gonna be 1d10 plus 1d8 plus 1d4 minus 4, because this is the second time he's hit the same target.
Very nice.
11.
It staggers and lets out a cry of pain. Isn't quite the right word for it. It's more like a cry of disbelief that something like you had managed to hurt it, and it takes and grabs for you and tries to punch you and punch right through you. (13 minus 3), another 10
4.
points of
9.
4. 9 points of damage.
He'll take it.
And the other one is moving towards Rothgar. Alexandra and Kethra, you have an opportunity to interfere.
Yeah, I'm gonna interfere. I'm gonna try to cast magic missile on the one heading towards Rothgar.
Do it.
But do you cast it in the darkness?
Damn it, that's -1. That's a 6.
It misses it. Doesn't hit anyone, just a simple miss. Rothgar.
Yes.
You need to defy danger at a -1, because running out of the way is not the first thing that comes to your mind right now.
No.
So it's probably actually no. Never mind. I'm going to take it back. Roll Constitution to defy danger, and don't take a. All right. That basically it strikes, but you absorb the blow. and can take your own action.
Awesome. So I don't know, like, yeah, this may not work on this. I've got an ability called Blade Breaker where I can attack an opponent's weapon and destroy it, but I will leave it up to you whether that is feasible, because I know these things are huge and you said the weapons were massive.
The weapons are massive, but you can still attempt to break it.
Okay, yeah. I'm sick of this thing shooting at my friends. So yeah, when it strikes me, I kind of imagine it like Susano, where it brings the weapon down and I just like put my arms up and stop it.
Hold it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just like let out a roar and go to break it.
Such ferocity.
The 8 is enough that you have the weapon, like you now have a grip of the weapon, but it's not enough to break it.
Okay, we can, yeah. The move, yeah, it's fine. We'll go that way.
Yeah.
Because yeah, on the move says on a 10 plus you shatter the weapon and deal damage. On a 7 to 9 you just shatter the weapon. Either way, they get to make an attack against me.
Okay. In that case, no. That case, the weapon is damaged and it's not going to be firing anything arcane at you.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
It's doing the same thing where you basically have one hand of it, kind of you're gripping on it. So it's shooting out its other hand and trying to punch right through you. And 15 minus, is Rothgar's armor 5?
Or 4. No, my armor is 7.
Okay, armor 7. You take 8 points of damage.
Say that again. I lost you for a second.
You take 8 points of damage.
8. Okay.
Alexandra.
Yes.
One of these things no longer has its weapon, but both of them are clearly hurting your tanks.
Yeah, I've got a rather dumb idea.
I always love your dumb ideas.
Just please don't multiply them. I'm begging you.
Don't botch.
I've no longer got a dumb idea. But yeah, Alexandra's gonna reach into her pocket and she's gonna pull out the fire kitten and just hand it to Kethra. Then she's gonna cast a spell on herself.
Okay.
Nope, that's the wrong sheet. And this spell is to basically manipulate her own inner fire.
Okay.
To show itself in an outer form and like have this rather large, just almost kind of like a giant suit of armor above her made of flames.
Ooh.
That's also got a scythe mimicking hers in flames. And yeah, she's going to attempt to attack.
Attack!
Well, yep, there you go. Fuck it. I'm gonna say that's a black magic spell.
Sounds good to me.
Essentially channeling her own fire through this bigger fire. So that it hits harder.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that one's gonna hit whichever one is closest to Jaylin.
That's the top one.
Top one. Excellent. It takes some of that damage, and the fire kind of licks around that hole in it, or the sort of the slice that Jaylin had made, and it looks like it's creating scorching that wound itself, and it lets out a sound, sort of a roar of its own, and is going to try and lunge forward towards you guys. Jaylin,
I would like
you
to
are
intervene.
there. Yes.
Jaylin would purposely attempt to drive his sword directly into the wound.
Absolutely.
All right, +1. That's a 10.
That's a 10.
All right. And we're now down to -3 because this is another round in which it's in contact, so it has less armor.
It does.
5? No, I'm going to use his ability to reroll.
Okay.
11.
There we go.
That you drive it through and literally cut off that leg, and it can't keep its balance. So what you and Alexandra have to do is make a quick defy danger roll. Dex.
Okay.
Shit, that was the wrong sheet. Sorry.
That's okay. You both.
No, that was
Oh.
the wrong sheet.
Still good enough.
That's better.
Still good enough. A little piece of shrapnel as it falls hits your fire, but it doesn't hurt you, Al. And it is down, and it is dying. The sounds of the battle elsewhere in the city really gets louder, and some of the griffins are going ahead of above you, and something drops from the sky on the other one, and its head gets covered with what looks like black sap or oil of some kind, and it has now been blinded. Who would like to act first?
Ooh, I got an idea.
Ooh, I like ideas.
Which one did you say that had landed on?
This one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one right here is dying, so we're just going to leave it to die.
Yeah.
Because we're jerks.
I would like to cast a fireball at that one's face.
Do that.
What?
Awesome.
Fuck this game.
Take your point of experience. Right idea, but the fire just doesn't quite reach it. It even though it's blinded, it's like whipping. It just moved a fraction in the right way. So next.
Rothgar.
Yeah. I had my next move planned, but that's kind of I don't think it's a good idea now.
Am I close enough to Rothgar to touch him?
Yes.
Oh, baby.
You can be. Absolutely.
Kethra is going to see that Rothgar is in a frenzy, and she has seen this same frenzy in Jaylin. And while she doesn't think that she can control Rothgar, she wants to try to use telepathy to remind Rothgar, like to reach to Rothgar's like inner self and remind him where he is, who he is, and what his job is, to make sure he doesn't like completely go insane and kill us.
Excellent. And do you need to normally roll for telepathy? I have forgotten.
Yes.
Okay, roll that first.
This will be a -1.
8 is perfectly well. Now roll your charisma, and this won't be at a negative. This will actually be at a +1. And Rothgar,
Yes.
as your beast was taking control, Kethra is there with you. And it's almost like before, when there'd always been a priest or somebody like a handler to direct you.
Mm-hmm.
She's there, but it's not a collar. It's more like a caress. And your mind comes back to you, even though the rage is all there.
Okay.
And it gives you a taste of that connection that she and Jaylin have together.
Okay.
And so take your action from there.
Okay, so I want to just kind of leap onto this thing, like feel Kethra's hands on me, and that kind of soothing, kind of clearing my mind, I guess. And he's gonna look at Kethra and I guess give kind of like a wolfish kind of grin, and then just leap onto this thing, it's like chest, and try and just start like breaking off pieces, I guess. Just trying to dig in claws and just tear it apart.
Go for it.
Oh.
Oh, wow. You do so very effectively. And you tear right into the center of it. And in the center of it, you see a glowing heart-shaped stone. And by heart-shaped, I mean like a actual human heart that is pumping. And in your hands, it shatters. And it goes falling down the other direction. Alexandra.
Yes.
You're glowing. Would you like to take another shot at just sending out your fire on both of these two and finishing them off, coup de grace style?
I'd kind of like to do it poetically and change my fire into the shape of a phoenix and just throw it at him.
Sure.
Coup de grace. Burn.
That is enough.
They explode.
Describe to me what happens to them from there.
So essentially, she raises her scythe up into the air, and the form of the fire changes into a phoenix, and just like flies up in the air and dive bombs onto the two of them. And
Nice.
like the metal around them just probably starts melting, just gradually. And
I see it.
That probably gets discolored. Metal doesn't like being heated suddenly.
Yeah. And that is the end of that combat. And Rothgar, you don't need to worry about what I was commenting before. Kethra saved you, so that you're able to come back to yourself. But you feel a connection towards her now. And Kethra, you get +1 forward in doing something like that to Rothgar from here on out.
All right.
And Jaylin's gonna walk over and rub Rothgar's belly.
So I guess I can imagine that's kind of happening as he shifts back down to his human self, and then he's just kind of looking down at Jaylin's hand and then at him
This is werewolf Paul just patting at his stomach.
What's going on?
Yep. So
and Ketra's just gonna whisper, "Shh, let it happen."
One of the dwarven knights touches Kethra and hands her 4 healing potions and says, "I meant to give these to you earlier, milady. They were part of a gift from the king."
And she's going to take them and just nod graciously at the dwarf and say, "Thank you very much, Master Dwarf." She's not going to mention that they don't really need them because healing magic, but whatever.
And each of those will bring somebody up automatically 10 points. So you now have an emergency stash of healing.
Just
Yay.
out of curiosity, Laurel, the one that I crushed the heart in.
Yeah.
Was it myself or Elle that technically got the last hit on that?
Technically Elle.
Okay.
Sorry, I stole your kill again.
No, it's fine. I just have something. If I land a killing blow, I heal for the damage I deal, and I just wasn't sure if I needed to heal myself or not.
Oh. No, I gave it. I cheated you out of that maneuver.
Yeah, it's okay. I just wanted to check.
Cheater.
And I would just like to point out that's twice that Elle has stolen my kill.
It's never been intentional.
Hashtag get your stub.
Jaylin is spending balance to heal himself. Okay, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna have to use all 4, huh? 6, 7. Okay.
Alexandra's using one of her own potions that she's had since she was first created, but never had a reason to use.
Cool.
Oh, I actually have 2 healing potions on Jaylin as well, but yeah, we'll hang on to those. Yeah. All right.
Ketra's just gonna heal. I would like to cast a cure moderate wounds on Rothgar.
Yay.
Don't say yeah yet. I haven't rolled.
So it looks like Jaylin stopped belly rubbing Rothgar to belly rub himself there with the heal.
You are lucky combat is over. Not that it matters because that would have just been a 10.
It's when the botches happen on the heels, it's fun.
Oh!
Congratulations, you healed for 2.
Wow.
That was Elle's fault, not mine.
No, it fucking wasn't.
It's when the botches happen on the heels. Ow!
Yeah,
I'll
when
be
the
right
botches
back.
happen on the roll to heal, not the actual fucking how much you heal.
Rothgar's actually going to give Kethra a kind of strange look because he now feels that strange connection with her, and he's not used to that, and he's also kind of weirded out because it reminds him of the hold that the priest used to have on him, but it does feel different, and he's aware of that. But it just yeah.
Is he a werewolf of that?
The fire cat's now gonna burn Jaylin's face off.
Jaylin is actually looking between them like, guys. He shifts down. The elemental rage is over. It's like, so that was new. I told you guys we shouldn't be fighting them.
We didn't exactly have a choice.
Rothgar just smiles, just like, I don't know, that was kind of fun, and just like punches Jaylin on the shoulder.
Ow! It's a little sore. We can't all take out the squishy one. Some of us get thrown in the walls.
It was a very nice wall.
And he gives like a deep mocking kind of bow, and it's like, I'm very sorry, my prince.
Get up.
Alexandra's just running her hand along the Jaylin print in the wall.
Alright, I return. Thanks. Sorry about that.
That firebird. That was impressive.
Yep. Alright. So here is where you want to get.
Where?
And
that doesn't help. You gotta ping and hold or something if you want to show us a spot.
It's down south.
Okay.
Okay. The big circular thing.
I'm always zoomed out enough that I can usually see just the edge of the ping.
Okay. So you wanna...
And there appear to be several streets that lead that way. There is a lot of chaos going on in those streets between where you are and where you are. You see humans running this way and that. They are very thin. They are dressed in rags. They shoeless, with the marks of Visago burned into their skin. And you see soldiers and wolves and demonic things kind of searching to pushing through them, running over them, looking for people like you guys to attack.
Duck back around a corner. We can't win every fight. Because we're gonna have to, and he looks to Alexandra and he goes, you mess with illusions, don't you?
What, me? No, I don't mess with illusions. Gonna cast an illusion on Jaylin.
He goes, can you cast one on all of us? And he goes, can
Laurel?
you make... Oh, okay.
Give me an animal.
Oh,
cat!
Jaylin is now a cat.
Meow, 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 meow,
Jaylin!
meow, 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 meow.
Rothgar growls at him.
Kethra puts a hand on Rothgar's shoulder. It just gives him that look like, don't even think about it.
The little fire kitten, on the other hand, like runs up. It's like, Daddy! And cat. And it purrs.
Oh, God. It gives like a playful little bat at the fire kitten.
And the fire kitten gives a bat back and meows, and a little burst of fire goes out. Almost singes Jaylin's fur.
Alright, and Alexandra's just gonna click her fingers and just break the spell. So what do you want to be this time?
Jaylin stands really tall right in front of Alexandra. Just that kind of leering, just like... I was hoping you
know,
make...
you're not very intimidating.
Yes, I was hoping you could make us look like some of them, the humans that are fleeing. He points at one of them. So
Why would you want to be them? Why not be the guards?
Because the guards are going to ask questions of guards. They're not going to care about the people, as you can tell.
But they might not care about the people to the point where they just might randomly want to start a fight anyway.
Alright, make us the guards.
Alright, Laurel.
Yes.
As
You're
that
gonna get to have
conversation's
some
going on,
fun on this roll.
Jaylin hears sniffing behind his ear. And his Rothgar just like, you still kind of smell like a cat.
He gets elbowed.
Alright, hold on, I'm just gonna quickly load up the mage book. Give me a sec. Why do I have the Changeling 20th book open?
He goes,
I can't imagine why you would do something like that.
Jaylin turns to Rothgar and goes, this didn't happen. No one speaks of this.
So, Laurel?
Mm-hmm.
You can pick one. Either the spell's effects work too well, or the spell's effects don't last long.
The spell's effects are not going to last long, but I'm not going to tell you how long they're going to last.
Fuck you.
Oh god.
Wow, I'm throwing you a bone by letting you pick, and you're not even throwing me a bone by telling me how long.
Oh, honey, I will throw you bones all day long.
We'll throw them to the wolves.
Meet me in my FC room. O-tip.
Yay.
Everybody make a dex roll to be stealthy. And fast as you're moving towards the temple.
Well, do we have to be stealthy if we're looking like the guards?
DOY. I guess,
sorry.
yeah, it more like fitting in.
Yeah. That's okay. Dio and L. Let's go. Oh, actually, Rothgar, pick right or south.
Let's go south.
So right?
So like down here.
Kethra. Alexandra. So, the boys are in front, and the girls are behind. And the knight that had been following behind you suddenly lets out a cry and goes down. In like they were just hit with a magic missile. And Alexandra and Kethra, the two of you hear someone calling, going, "Guards, to me." And you see
What?
appearing. And he goes, "Guards, to me."
You said it was just Alexandra and Kethra that heard that?
You guys can hear it, but he saw them. Like
Okay.
the two of you were ahead enough that you didn't catch his sight. But as he just killed the dwarf, he spots the two of them moving. They're not quite as far as the two of you.
So I'm gonna stay around this corner right here and try to eavesdrop.
And Kethra's just gonna kind of shrug her shoulders and be like, okay.
And Alexandra's gonna be like, yes, my lord.
It goes this way.
But we saw some intruders going south.
It goes very well. Lead the way.
Oh boy.
And you guys know there's the two of them right around the corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Rothgar like nudges Jaylin in the ribs and is like, feel like ambushing someone.
And he nods.
By the way, sir, when can I get a promotion?
Like, survive this fight, and we'll discuss it with your commander.
Okey-doke. By the way, speaking of my commander, who is he again?
Guys, if you could go around this corner right here, we're gonna jump him.
Al? Roll charisma.
Oh no!
Nope.
And that's at the point he goes, wait a minute. And he snaps his own fingers. And the illusion falls off. However, you have first action, L.
And Alexandra's just gonna give a smirk and just be like, oh, you saw through. I guess it's time to introduce myself. And I'm gonna roll black magic.
You caught him off guard.
And that is a fireball straight to its face.
And you know what he just did to the your dwarf? You just did to him.
Fucking mages.
Fucking mages. I think
Aren't you a mage?
Jaylin echoes that. He's a fucking mage.
I may be a mage, but you know, I'm not allowed to hate other mages. We're all a bit of an asshole, you know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yes, Cat, yes.
That's a line all chiming in.
Yes. Cecil will be playing the part of Lionel today.
How many other streams have role-playing cats? Tell me. How
I
many?
know, right?
Hold on. So this illusion's broken on me. Is it broken on the others?
Not yet.
Alright.
So Kethra is still a guard?
You are still a guard.
Okay.
Alexandra's gonna walk up to the rest of them and just tell them to claim that she's their prisoner.
All right.
Fair.
Then Jaylin will change marching order to march behind her to kind of push her along. It's like pushing her along with like the his shield, like not really hard, but you know.
To like play the part.
Yeah, like stick in front, leading the way, I guess.
Vayli, why are you crying? Don't cry, Vayli.
Don't cry, Vayli. You'll make me cry. All right. Rothgar.
Yes.
You see a disturbance up ahead.
Okay.
A disturbance in the force?
Yes. Describe for me what you see as you round this corner.
A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Did you just say a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Yes.
The Kojin are not here.
It would be disturbing though. Like, they would.
True. I'm gonna say like there's some of those like ragged, skinny people of the city are kind of battling against some guards, not so much like fighting against them, but more trying to get into this place. Like they're trying to get away from the fighting. The guards are kind of pushing them back, trying to keep obviously people out of this place.
All right. So we got a guard to represent the guard, and
Oh, cool shadow on her.
yeah, Alexandra, how many guards are there?
I'd say about 3.
Excellent. Kethra, how
Yes.
many innocent humans are there?
12.
Is that a pregnant woman?
Yes, and one of them is pregnant. And she's kind of getting jostled about. And another one of them is a little boy.
A little boy, small boy.
And the guard basically hacks down one of the men. And right in front of you all. And so he's there sprawled. And you hear the pregnant woman going, "Jerome, no!" and running to the body. And the guard is lifting his sword back to just take off her head.
Oh, God, I'm going to intervene.
I say if you don't, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I just I curse under my breath, and just charge forward, and grab hold of the guard's wrist, of the arm that's holding his sword up, or axe. I don't know what he has.
Absolutely. And as you grab him, he glowers at you and he goes, "What do you think you're doing?"
And he's just going to look back at the others and be like, "We have a more pressing prisoner."
And Alexandra's just gonna look like she's trying to cast something when she's really not, just to make herself seem more intimidating.
She gets nudged.
Gonna look at the guard and just be like, killing these isn't gonna help. You're just gonna make things worse. They will start turning back on us. There's only 3 of you here. What are you thinking?
And he sort of mutters and goes, "Fine, fine." And the other humans are smart enough to run out of the way, but the pregnant woman's staying at the body of her slain husband, and her son is staying with her. So it's just the 3 of them, and everybody, the rest of them just scatter and get out of there. And she's just sobbing, going, "Why? Jerome? Jerome?"
And Alexandra's starting a pretend fight with Jaylin at this point.
Yep. He's shoving her and no.
And guard goes, "Oh, you're wolf-born, aren't you?" to you and Jaylin. And he goes, "Very well. Where are you supposed to be taking this one?"
They said they would take me to see the big nasty thing.
And he
What,
suddenly,
calling this is this like the temple, or
you're closer to the temple. And he goes, "Oh, You're taking her. They want her in the temple.
Yeah, and Rothgar's gonna look and say, "This one's a mage.
She's sacrificed.
We were asked to bring her in as a power source," and like he kind of maniacally laughs at Alexandra.
And she's just trying to hit him now, just shouting, "I am not a battery."
And she gets grabbed by the arm, like.
Yeah. And one of the other guards, the one that hadn't talked to you all, he casually takes his sword and he lops off the dead man's head. And he like tosses it at the feet of the pregnant woman. And he goes, "There, you could take that home and grieve over that. Get off the street."
Resisting urge to fireball.
Yeah,
actually, that's actually the thing. Is Jaylin really quiet? Is like, if you can get one off.
Apparently not.
Nope.
And you can see her start, and that third guard that was there notices, and he turns around and he just punches Alexandra right in the jaw, right in the face.
Wow, you never learned manners, did you? It's polite to ask a mage to stop.
Dio, what would you like to do? I saw you just roll.
Kethra is ignoring everything else that's happening around her, and she's gonna aim a magic missile at the bastard that chopped the dude's head off, because she was gonna try to resurrect the husband.
Do it! You got. Roll your damage.
So let's see. Magic missile, the damage is.
Well, I mean, she can still resurrect him, right?
2d4. How do you resurrect a man whose head has been lopped off?
I once resurrected a paladin that was chopped into 100 separate parts.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
How did that work out?
As long as you have all of the parts together.
No fair.
It hits him, and it hits him hard. And as it hits him, your the illusion on you shatters again. And the three guards go, "There's another one!" And they turn weapons drawn and attempt to apprehend Kethra.
Only now Jaylin's gonna step between them and Kethra.
Rothgar is Rothgar is going in for an attack.
Yeah, then Jaylin's gonna be like, "My prisoner."
Like, fuck your prisoner. And he swings his sword at Jaylin.
Oh, Jaylin brings his shield up. Let's do this. Let's go.
Jaylin, defy danger constitution.
Okay.
It glances. The blade hits the shield, and the shield, being of cheaper steel, shatters. And he's like, "What the hell?"
And Jaylin is going to now shield bash him.
Do it. Oh, yeah.
There we go again.
Down. You hit him so hard that he's the one to go flying into a building. And you just hear the bones breaking.
And Jaylin looks at others and goes, "My prisoners, back off."
Yeah, Rothgar snarls like after hearing what the guard said to them, he just snarls and like, "You would attack the Wolfborn," hoping for some reason that actually means something.
And the other two like start retreating down towards the temple. And it's like, help yourselves. Or I should say they retreat down an alleyway and kind of leave you the main road. And the pregnant woman like is weeping and goes and she just holds her little boy and is like trying to shield him from all of you.
Jaylin is going to not get too close, but he's going to try to get her attention. And if he looks his way, he's going to draw his sword, not enough to pull it out of the scabbard, but to show that it has a symbol she might recognize on it. Because it has his house's mark on it. And then he goes, shh.
Jaylin, roll charisma. Don't botch.
Bro, why?
Well, that's 8. But why do you keep saying don't botch? Why must you say those words?
It's said in love. And her eyes widen a little bit. And she holds her son and she just kind of nods her head. And
Kethra has
guys...
an opening if she would like to try to resurrect the husband.
I would.
The head's there, the body's there.
Put them next to each other.
So yeah, she's gonna walk up to the pregnant woman and just kind of put a hand on her shoulder and say, "This may not work, but let me try." And she's not gonna say anything else. Pray that the dice are good.
Oh yeah.
Now the resurrection spell says the GM would like tell the GM you would like to resurrect a corpse whose soul has not yet fully departed this world. Resurrection is always possible, but the GM will give you one or more, possibly all of these conditions to fulfill. It's going to take days/weeks/months. You must get help from fill in the blank. It will require a lot of money. You must sacrifice blank to do it. The GM may, depending on the circumstances, allow you to resurrect the corpse now with the understanding that the conditions must be met before it's permanent, or require you to meet the conditions before the corpse is resurrected.
You must kill the fellow that cut off his head.
Done. Where is he? Let's kill him.
Right there. And you must kill him personally. His life for the life you're bringing back into the world. That is the pact that death whispers in your ear.
Okay.
Does Kethra share this with the class?
I was gonna say, yeah, do we know about this?
Kethra is going to just kind of place a hand on the widow on the woman's shoulder and just nod and say it shall be done. And then she's gonna go back to the party and say, "We have a guard to kill. I need to kill him, but I need your help."
Jaylin nods.
Now, is he the guy that Jaylin knocked into the building?
Yes, he was.
Oh, goody.
Oh, so he's still here?
He's laying there on the ground.
You know what? Then Kethra would just like to take the sword and run it through him.
Run it through?
Is it her sword or is it his sword that he used to chop the head off with? Because this could be very poetic.
Which sword is it, Dio?
It is the wolf sword that Jaylin gave me.
Awesome.
What is the damage on that?
This is more of a coup de grace. You hit him. That's all that matters. He was so wounded enough that you don't have to roll.
Sweet.
And so you take his head, and as you take your head, you complete the ritual. And the body on the ground begins to glow. And you are a conduit for the life force, and you just pour it back into him. And he's like, he gives a little groan. And his wife is crying for a whole different reason now. And she's like, thank you. And she looks at Jaylin and she goes, long live the king. And she looks at Kethra and goes, long live the queen.
And Kethra just blushes.
Man, that guy really knows how to get ahead in life. Alexandra actually says that.
Kethra just looks and rolls her eyes. Really?
Jaylin says, "Get to safety. Our work isn't done yet."
And the happy little family does so and gets off the street.
So, lead the way, gods. We are now your prisoners.
Is Kethra still under the illusion?
No.
No.
She lost it when she magic missiled.
And
Right.
at this point, none of you are. The guards that had been there had retreated, so they didn't even see this. They were just getting out of your way.
All right, onwards to the tower.
All right, and you guys go up a flight of stairs. Up we go. Walking over some other dead bodies. And at the front gate is a demonic form. And as soon as it sees you, it speaks a word in abyssal, and its brethren appear.
What an ugly family.
Oh, hi there. We're here for initiation.
Oh, and they're not all in front of us. Awesome.
No. Family? And the one that's in front speaks, but it speaks with a feminine voice, like it's being the vessel of one, and goes, "Oh, little prince, I am so glad you've stepped up to my plate."
Why don't you
Wait,
come
Fred?
say that to me personally?
It's like, my pets are hungry. They need to feed. And the 4 shadow demons attack. Shadows come rolling off them, grabbing at you 4.
Rothgar's just not happy today. Just every roll is just
No,
like Rothgar.
every time at the start of combat, I need to roll Constitution to see how far into my rage I start.
Uh-huh.
So that's just, yeah. At the start of combat, I always have to do a Constitution roll.
All right, so they grappling at us with shadows.
Yes, they are. So, defy danger, everybody.
Can I use a spell again?
This point, you need to,
I'll roll for it, but I want to cast a spell.
Okay, go ahead.
Alexandra's gonna try and use her holy light against the shadows around her.
Okay.
Try and barely succeed.
Can I justify using strength to just try and break their hold on me?
Yes.
I wish to defy based on wisdom.
I will also do the same, also using spell defense as my defy danger.
I would like to use wisdom because he would like to consult his glowy sword of spiritualness.
Okay.
Yeah. And a 9.
All right. Dio, describe for me what happens when the shadows reach for you.
So the move spell dispense, I'll just read the thing first and then kind of how I envision it. It says you may end an ongoing spell immediately and use the energy of its dissipation to deflect an oncoming attack. The spell ends and you subtract its level from the damage done to you. In my mind, like as soon as the shadows come towards me, it's almost like I kind of just put my hands out and like, oh, it's almost like this burst of energy just deflects anything coming towards me.
Are you Louis Swa? Are you Louis Swa right now?
Yes, I'm Louis Swawing.
I totally see it. Okay.
Jaylin's like, yes, I'm gonna marry Louis Swa. It's gonna be great. Wait.
And Elle, describe for me what happens when the shadows reach for you.
Oh, pretty much. Alexandra just kind of starts getting this like faint glow to her. Like it's not strong enough to reach out beyond her, but anything that tries to grab her just can't because of the holy magic just repelling it.
Gotcha.
And her eyes and hair are kind of like glowing even brighter than usual at the moment.
Cool. I like that. Alrighty. And no one gets a firm hold upon any of you. The shadows when they brushed over you were very, very cold. But it is now your turn to take offensive actions.
Time for a holy bolt.
I'm gonna bless Jaylin one more time. It's a +1 to you during combat, Jaylin, a -1 to me for any spells I cast for the rest of the combat.
So he's like, souls of my ancestors guide me, because he's consulting the blade.
And it's telling you, the blade just says, it kind of gives you a very clear image of just taking no prisoners and focusing your will to cleanse the taint from your city, from your people, and to not let go of it and not let go of your shield.
All right. Then sword and shield in hand, he's going to take some swings. Because he's gonna. +1. 8. I am assuming he's gonna be fighting this one.
Sure.
Like it's the one he can reach.
Protect your waifu.
Well, yeah, that too. All right.
She can protect herself, thank you.
Hey, I've seen your rolls.
Two of this is piercing. 13.
Oh my.
But it does leave him open to damage.
That is enough to cleave it apart. As it's being cleaved apart, it opens its mouth and sort of boiling shadows come straight at you and your face.
Oh. Ow.
Oh.
Does this ignore armor?
This ignores armor.
Oh, ow.
Jaylin?
Hold on, is this magic damage?
Ooh.
This is... I'm having to think about, do curses count as magic damage?
Is she gonna untype this? Is she gonna make damage that goes through hollowed ground? Is she gonna do it? I'm pretty sure she's gonna do it.
This is magic damage.
Okay.
So Jaylin gets 2 armor against it at least.
Okay.
Okay. So Jaylin only takes
7.
7
It
points
still
of damage.
really hurt him.
But it hurt him, and Jaylin, you can't see.
So the sword, as it cut through it, like shone brighter. Like the light just actually amplified, as if the sword itself wasn't cutting through flesh, but the light was cutting through shadow.
Yes. And then it in its basically its last gasp is it retaliated and blinded you.
Yeah, and he gives out a cry of like agony. He's like, ah, and then he's like, your pets aren't hungry enough.
Next.
So Alexandra's actually got a spell going out
Yes.
that I already rolled for.
Yes, you did.
And that's Alexandra's basically gonna take inspiration from these demons
Uh-huh.
and just grab her scythe in her hands and just slam the blade into the floor and just have like tentacles of holy magic come out at the demons.
Ooh, cool.
And she's just gonna mutter to complete that game. And that was a 12 rolled for that.
Yes, it was. As you do that, I'm going to roll 1d4. That's what I'm going to do. As you do that, this one and this
We can't
one.
see that one.
Oh. Here,
Oh wait, there's a third. Oh.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. It was hiding really good.
Yeah.
In the shadows.
Blending into the shadows.
Sorry, this particular map, things are dark enough that I couldn't see just by looking at my screen. I should have been looking at Pook's, but with one monitor, it's hard.
Yeah, Glory, she basically summoned the Lightforged Draenie's face.
Yes.
The tentacles, they are now fighting against L's holy tentacles. So it's tentacle on tentacle action going on there.
Could this, like, hold on, we're both consenting to the fight as well, so are these consenticles as well?
Consenticles.
L, lose a point of
Yes.
XP.
No.
Yes,
Man.
they're consenticles, L.
Nope.
I mean, if they're consenticles, then they must be really teed off.
Laurel, I am not losing that EXP I gained by botching when you said don't botch.
God, fair. God damn it, Dag. This is somehow your fault.
Oh wow.
All right, Rothgar, there is still one in front that is not dealing with them and is in fact trying to savage you, and it.
I kind of imagine while all of that is going on behind me, like the tentacles that were grabbing at me, where everyone else is doing all this fancy magic stuff, like I'm just, like tugging my arms away and like trying to stamp on them and stuff. And then I just look at this demon thing with an angry look on my face, and yeah, just go to swing my axe at it, and hope that does something.
Swing your axe.
Even though I'm in human form right now. Oh, Silver, thanks for the resub. Welcome back. I appreciate that.
Roll your
Lesson
damage.
3, lesson 3.
Oh, you did.
I did.
You break through it. It's doesn't take some of it absorbs the damage, but you still hurt it. And it is too busy. It makes a counterattack that's ineffectual on you. Where it's just like, imagine like little tentacles are like slapping at you, and you don't need to pull it. Kethra.
Yes.
Jaylin's blind.
Hmm.
It looks like his eyes are just gone completely dark, almost like black silk. Do you have something that removes curses?
You know what? Let me look.
Oh my god, he's gonna need to start using his Aether to see.
It does not appear. So.
Okay. What are you going to do?
You don't have the one that reverses an event, do you?
I'm actually looking over right now.
Although saying that, probably not if you've got resurrection on.
I don't see it. You know what? I really enjoy. Oh god, what was that spell I was using?
Oh no. These demons are about to get the plague.
Yes. Oh god, I can't find it now. Yes, Contagion. I really enjoyed the spell Contagion. Which one of them was the one that blinded Jaylin?
It's dead.
It
was the
did.
one he killed.
Oh, good. I guess we'll take this guy then. We're gonna cast Contagion on him.
Alrighty.
Please,
Give him
dice be good.
Give him Cataract's justice.
No, I'm going to give him. Oh my god, my brain just went completely. I'm going to give him leprosy.
Oh god.
And just one by one, his limbs are going to start falling off and rubbing.
Kethra,
Yes.
roll 1d10.
Awesome.
Higher the better.
Okay.
You learn that demons are immune to contagion.
Oh, yay.
Laurel,
Yes?
I would just like to point out that as that dice was rolling, you said higher the better, and it came out a 1, okay?
Are you saying that that was in fact me inflicting the don't botch curse
Yes.
on her dice?
Yes.
Because on my
Laurel.
screen, it totally looked like it was going to land on the 9, and then it was like, oh.
Laurel, lose 1 EXP.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of my players.
Sure you are.
I'm also a fan of the story. So, as Kethra learns to her horror that they're immune to contagion, one of them, it attempts to grapple Jaylin. Jaylin, your sword tells you to move. Roll Defy Danger Dex.
This is still +1 because of the bless, right?
Yep.
11.
Not only are you able to successfully move out of the way, but you sense where it is, and you have your sword and shield.
I take a swing.
So, Yep, take it without a penalty. Despite being blind.
9.
Roll your damage.
Yeah, he didn't see that coming.
2 of this is piercing. 11.
Between what Alexandra did to it and what you did to it, it's gone. Who would like to take another action?
I could cast a holy bolt.
Alrighty.
Or not.
As you cast your holy magic this time, you suddenly feel yourself getting yanked. And all of you see as she gets yanked forward, as if something was suddenly pulling on her, and she vanishes.
I don't see that.
no.
Well, she's just gonna be shouting "fuck." While she's getting dragged away, so you'll hear it.
So there wasn't like this panic of I'm blind, which is like he wasn't like clawing at his eyes or anything, like trying to like figure out what was going on. But so he's been kind of quiet, and that sidestep was quiet, and that stab, like he's like trying to listen for things, even though listening's not the sense that he's working with right now. He has no idea what's going on, and then he hears, and he's like, Alexandra, now he's actually like, what the hell's going on? So he was like trying to really listen to get a gist of what's going on, and she's like,
And one of these demons makes a slurping sound. And that voice comes to you all again and goes, "This is the sound of me drinking her heart's blood."
I would like to swing my axe overhead and bring it down on Hit's head.
Okay.
To try and shut that thing up.
Roll it. You swing and hit, and you can feel your weapon cleaving through it, and it does to you, or attempts to do to you, what it did to
To Jaylin.
To Jaylin. However, it fails because you absorb it all. So shadows flick at your face, but it's not enough. And you have an opportunity to swing again.
Yay. Like, do I need to roll strength again, or is this just damage?
Yeah, roll strength again.
Strength again. Okay.
Yeah. And roll damage again.
So she's up to 4th stage now.
It's gone. This last one starts retreating, like it's backing towards the temple, and goes, "Very well. I will let the 3 of you come. I dare you. I dare you to follow. Come to my place of power, children. Allow me to be the one to present you.
Resilient souls, I salute you!
What would everybody like to do?
Jaylin is still asking what's going on, and what does she mean by
I was
free?
going.
He's like, I can't see.
Like Rothgar, when it starts backing away, and after hearing like Jaylin's calls, because he had no idea that happened, being at the other side of the group, like turns around and sees him, and just like, what the hell happened? And he's like standing there, like waving his hand in front of Jaylin's face.
Jaylin's eyes are like pitch black, like they like when he opens them, they're black.
So he looks to Kethra and is like, "What happened?"
I don't know, and I can't fix this. And she's like just panicked.
What happened to Alexandra?
Did you say that like we had all seen what happened to her?
She vanished. So Jaylin, of course, didn't.
No, but I was just wondering if I had seen that.
You had the sense of her going away.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see exactly what happened.
But... You know, after the skeletons, Rothgar's always kind of getting the same attitude as Jaylin towards magic, or what he used to have anyway. And he's just like, the other one, her bloody spells went wrong, and she's disappeared.
Well, we have to keep moving forward. We have to hope that we'll find her wherever we find whoever that was. He's reaching out to see if he can find like Kethra's hand.
And Kethra just reaches out and grabs his hand and is like, I'm here.
Let's go.
Rothgar's going to look at Kethra and just say, keep him out of trouble and keep both of you behind me. And start walking into the room.
And the temple doors open. And then as soon as Rothgar is inside, they start to close very quickly. Jaylin and Kethra, dex roll.
Oh,
the bless,
because you're blind.
The bless has him make it, but I don't know if he's under a blind penalty.
He has a blind penalty, so they kind of cancel each other out. So I will give you a choice. You can you were basically you had Kethra's hand. And you probably was it the hand that had the shield or the hand that had the sword? Because you're going to end up dropping one.
Well, the thing is that he would have resheathed the sword before grabbing for a hand.
Okay, so it's basically he still has the shield on the other arm.
Yeah.
And she's able to pull you through just in time as the doors shut right behind you. And you all see a very tall, pale woman standing before this blue it's not a crystal. It's sort of like a fire. And laid into the fire is Alexandra. Alexandra, you feel yourself being torn apart, but you've had the opportunity to kind of you are going to be able to get off one spell of your choice when you wish to declare it.
Okie doke.
And the priestess looks at the rest of you and goes, "Come, my lovely sacrifice. Allow me to bathe you all in the glory that is Visano." And she casts a spell.
Oh no.
Everybody roll Defy Danger Constitution.
Okay.
Where's my constitution?
I don't know why you're saying okay. You can't see the dice rolls.
Shut up.
There we go.
I can't even see her. I was gonna ask Laurel what she smells like.
She smells like brimstone and rotting flesh.
Lovely. So what happens to us? Oh gosh.
Rothgar takes 10 points of damage because he soaked 2 because of mage armor, and it went through the rest.
Okay.
And Rothgar, as you're hit by this blast of magic, wounds begin to open, and you are inflicted with the leprosy like Kethra had tried to use on the demons.
Oh.
And the priestess laughs and looks right at Kethra and goes, "I will make your wolves rot. I will feed you their stinking, smelling flesh. Little fool. You are no match for me."
Jaylin's going to break the rules of what the sword told him to do. He's going to draw it back from the sheath and hand it to Kethra.
Hand the sword to Kethra and roll dex.
And roll dex. Oh boy.
And you're at a -2 penalty.
10.
That's
Ooh.
okay. Even with the penalty, even being blind, silver chains start snapping out of the floor at you. And even with the sword now in Kethra's hand, you dodge out of the way. You like spin, hearing the chains, hearing how they're shooting at you, and manage to have the shield up so that you block a spell headed straight at Kethra, and it reverberates and bounces off the shield.
And it's like he's moving based on instinct right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Meanwhile,
he actually,
Kethra-
no, he looks back over his
go
shoulder.
ahead.
Kethra goes, "You are not weak. Go."
There is a shadow demon pouncing at you.
At me?
At you. Defy danger.
I'm gonna use my dex to try to get out of the way.
You get out of the way and of the one that was grabbing at you, and something comes flying at you from another direction. And this thing appears and lands on your back.
Ow! Ew, what is that?
And how much armor do you have?
1.
It bites you for 3 points of damage.
Oh, That sucks.
And as it's biting at you from out of your clothing, the flame kitten appears and like it's climbing the front of you as the other thing is climbing the back of you, and you can probably try and like brush them off so that they are fighting not on top of you. Roll strength. Don't botch.
Laurel, seriously.
Seriously, Laurel.
Stop saying don't botch.
It's just so much fun. Unfortunately, you are not successful. And that distracts you for the moment. And the priestess goes, Jaylin House, this is what it feels like to be powerless. And she raises up her weapon. And Rothgar?
Yes.
Defy danger. Difficulty penalty 2.
Or
Or -1, I should say.
Any particular stat? Or
dodge if you want to get out of the way. Constitution if you want to try and get closer to her and take an action.
Oh.
And Rothgar, you fall. And she goes, first your new wolf priestess, and then your prince. And Rothgar takes another 12 points of damage.
Okay.
She's talking. She's talking a lot right now.
She's talking a lot. She's savoring what she's doing.
Oh, that's good, because that means he can hear where she is. He's going to throw his shield at her.
Throw it!
Captain America!
And fail. Even with the +1.
The shield goes straight at her, and she flicks her hand, and it goes straight into the fire where Alexandra is. And you feel and it just sort of lands there on top of Alexandra. And she goes, I dedicate that to Visago.
And he shifts.
Hey, Laurel.
Yes.
I'm gonna DM you something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Gloria, this is why Laurel's not allowed to talk. The bent that she is.
You know, you wouldn't be botching so much if you didn't stop calling me a bent.
I didn't call you anything.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alexandra, you have an action, and you go first.
So when Alexandra hears her say she dedicates that to Visago, Alexandra just, with her cocky smirk, just says, dedicate this, and just blows up with holy fire. And yeah, just causes a right ruckus.
Roll 2d10 plus 2. the center where Alexandra was and where all this magic was being sent up to Visago and where the shield had just been thrown by the priestess bursts into a radiant light. And as her body starts to disintegrate and just turn to ash, Jaylin's shield explodes from the fire, just covered in holy light, and strikes the priestess from behind. And it knocks her off her feet onto the ground. Rothgar.
Yes.
You're closest. Jaylin's behind you. Kethra is dealing with the fact that she's being used as a battleground between two Pokemon-sized creatures.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and take a swing at her, I guess. If she's lying at my feet, I will try and bring my axe down on her.
All right. You take no penalties because basically things are going to cancel each other out.
Okay. Strengthening that. An 8. And I think we're...
You hit her, but it doesn't cleave through her own magic armor. You see that you hurt her a little, and she hisses, and she lets out one last bolt towards Jaylin.
I would like to step in the way of that.
I hate you all.
Actually, I would like to step in the way of that with my back to it so that it knocks the freaking creature off my back.
All right.
I'm dead, but I would like to step in the way of that too.
Is that a dex roll? God
Oh
damn it.
no. Oh no. Oh no.
The blast that she goes out sears through Rothgar, strikes Kethra for 9 points of damage, and blocks it from Jaylin.
That leaves me with 4 points of health.
Rothgar's not moving. And Alexandra's gone. On the other hand, so is the little creature on your back.
Yay. Oh, wait, what about Lionel?
Oh, Lionel.
Well, no, Lionel was on the front of me.
Yeah. Lionel jumps down.
Okay.
Jaylin?
I would like to cheat with a 2 for it and give myself a potion and then give one to Rothgar.
Potion.
I have 4 health potions.
As you move to Rothgar and you put the potion again on his lips, he's not breathing.
No. Don't you die on me, you son of a bitch. You promised.
Jaylin is in his werewolf form now.
Uh-huh.
And he is marching in the direction he thinks she's in. I'm pretty sure she had to make a sound to cast that spell.
Yep. Roll dex.
Because he doesn't know exactly what's going on. He still can't see a lot of it, but it doesn't sound good. 9. And he's going to...
You get close. You get to her.
Uh-huh.
As you get to her, and she's managed to pull herself standing. But you have a pretty... But she hisses at you. And she goes, "You will die today."
I'm taking you with me.
Roll.
All right. So he's going to be nothing fancy, just shoving those claws straight out at where he heard that voice, hoping to get her face. 13.
Nice. Roll your damage.
And his shield hit, so technically this is the second time he's hit her, so he gets a plus 1d4. Aha! 15.
All right. Sorry, I had to message Dio. And that kills her.
He basically wraps his paw and the claws around her head and squeezes.
Gross. Ew.
Hold on. Here's a question. Would you say it's kind of like a watermelon or a grape?
Yes. That's how Pop-Tarts are made.
And Jaylin, you have that moment of satisfaction of her popping like a grape, and your foot touches your shield, and you hear Kethra on the ground to the side of you going, "No, no, 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 no."
I'm gonna gather up the shield and I'm gonna turn and go, "What's going on?"
It's Rothgar. I don't think. And she just stops talking, and she turns to Jaylin and she just says, "I'm sorry." And then she mutters an incantation of resurrection and casts resurrection on Rothgar and asks that her life be exchanged for his.
And that leprosy that had been inflicting and racking Rothgar, Kethra pulls it out of him and pulls it into herself instead. And Rothgar, you have 4 hit points, and Kethra has none.
But you have the potion because I had the potion next to you.
Yep. Jaylin, you feel that bond between the two of you fading as she takes her last breath.
He is, even though I can't do it, he is screaming. He is on his knees. He cannot see where this is taking place. And he is pleading.
So Rothgar kind of, I guess, crawls his way. He's still badly hurt, I take it. If he's only got the 4 hit points.
He'll have 14 because of the potion.
Yeah.
Okay. So he like staggers his way over to Jaylin and lifts him and guides him over to Kethra.
And Jaylin, as like the three of you are there curled together.
He actually, I guess I would. He's been. Actually, you go ahead. Okay. He's kind of a mess right now, but he's kind of reaching out to where she is, like to hold her. Because it wasn't supposed to be like this. It can't be like this. What do I do? I would give anything.
Anything? Asks Liro. And appears.
What?
And he goes.
He goes, and he recognizes the voice, but obviously has never seen and will not actually see him right now.
Yeah.
And goes, no games. You heard me. I said anything.
He goes. The curse upon your eyesight is not permanent. But give me your eyes, and I will give you her life.
Take them.
And there's a searing pain in your face.
Jaylin, no.
And Kethra has 1 hit point. She's barely alive. She's barely breathing. And there's a person on... Just a second. Sorry. I'm bringing something in. Oh, you know what? You're coming in very big because grid's not on.
I mean, baby, I'm always big.
Hopping on Liro's back. Someone familiar.
Not that I can see anything.
Not that you can see.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not quite that much larger than life.
Oh, I was as big as a dragon for a second.
You were. And he says to Elle, he goes, there. He says, they're your people. They're all alive. And since you've been such good company, and I owe my sister a favor, so are you.
Yeah, you do. You still need to RSVP to their party later.
Indeed I do. He goes, we'll meet again.
Oh, darling, don't count on it.
And he vanishes.
Kethra just gasps, like the breath just comes back into her, and as she opens her eyes, she sees Elle, and she's like, "Am I dead? Elle, why are you here?"
Yeah, Kethra, welcome to the afterlife.
Oh.
Jaylin is looking pretty tore up. In fact, he's actually got like blood that was streaking down from his eye sockets. But he's there.
I want Rothgar to rummage around and find one of those potions, those other potions from Kethra's stuff, and give that to her.
Yes. Absolutely. Kethra, you take back 10 hit points.
Yay.
And Rothgar, you're going to get fed 1. You're going to take back 10 hit points.
A second one?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Laurel, can I have my token?
Yes. You can have your token.
He's
All
like,
the fun away.
He's like, is that Elle?
No, you're hearing things.
And he's like reaching out in the direction now, and his hand is on her face.
Oh, I'm gonna roll at Defy Danger. Haha, fuck you, you're blind. He's just gonna, every time he reaches out, just, get behind him. But make a noise just to fuck with him.
That's L.
You would.
And he goes, Kethra,
Yeah.
don't ever do that again.
And Kethra just smirks at him and goes, "You're not the boss of me, you scrub." But her voice is still really shaky.
Rothgar?
Rothgar is looking confused because he has no idea what Kethra did because he was dead. He has no idea who Elle is, but everybody clearly knows her. So he's just gonna sat there like, no idea what's going on.
So yeah, I was like, Rothgar, and now he's reaching out and
Rothgar, moves closer and finds his hand.
Oh, okay. Alexandra?
And Kethra just shakes her head and says she didn't make it.
He's now hugging the shield.
And Kethra sits up and she turns to Rothgar and smacks him and says, "Don't you ever do that again. Your job is to protect him."
That's what I did, I think.
That's not a lot of good protection you'll be if you're dead. She hits him again.
I think I preferred being dead.
Can be arranged, buddy.
Who are you?
She's Elle.
And then Kethra just kind of mockingly scritches behind his ear and goes, "We like this puppers. Don't kill him."
Another one?
That's a
Yeah.
long
What's the
story.
Wero's house?
There's a commotion outside the doors, and the doors burst in, and you see it's King Noggin and his people.
So who is it? Who was that?
It's the dwarves. It's the dwarves, Jaylin. Calm down.
Okay. Okay.
What, dwarves? Do I need to kill them?
No, stop. And Kethra just bows to King Noggin and says, "Your Grace, I'm glad to see you survived the battles."
Glad to see you guys survive the battles. He
Only
goes,
just.
he goes, yeah, we lost a lot of good men and women today, but the city defenses have been taken down, and something happened, and all those machine men, they just froze up and aren't moving anymore. And then he looks at Jaylin and he goes, "What's wrong with you, son?"
He's had a rough day.
Hey.
He saw the error of his ways.
And he goes, he actually turns his head in the direction he thinks Elsa and goes, "Can Wero take you back?"
Please, no. I am done folding his laundry.
Folding his laundry, eh? Is that what they call it now?
I mean, let's just say he's bigger than him.
I am blind.
Kethra just hugs Elle. "It is so good to have you back, my friend."
And there's no way to fix it. It was a bargain struck. Because people have a habit of dying.
habit. It was one time.
Hey, don't look at me. I gave up my place in the afterlife for someone else.
Meanwhile, Alexandra is now folding laundry for wear out.
No, she fucking isn't. No, she is gonna make it to the afterlife.
She's gonna make it to the afterlife.
Oh god, are we gonna have some explain to do to Nostradamus?
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna have a really fucking awkward conversation.
Okay, so what? We've retaken the city. What? Any? He's like, Kethra, do you still have my sword?
Oh yeah. Here you go. Should probably be careful with that, being blind and all. Love ya.
He goes, no, it let me see. Sort of. It was. I can't explain it.
Was it a magic sword? And she just kind of like jabs him a little bit because, he can't appreciate her sarcastic smirks anymore.
So, question: is the fire cat still around?
The fire cat is around.
Elle's gonna try and tame that as a ranger pet.
Yes, the fire cat can now become elves.
And like she's just patting it and just scratching it behind the ear.
No, looks like Lionel need a friend.
Huh?
Say that again, Elle. Sorry, I missed it.
Oh, she's just patting it and giving it scratches, and it's just like, do you know how to follow orders?
Meow.
Yeah, good enough.
Be careful, it's got some pretty spicy breath. Yeah.
I've probably had worse.
This is Lionel. I'm just gonna let you two get to know each other. She's not gonna bother to tell Elle about his special abilities.
They will have an interesting time of it, the two of them. They will have great adventures in the future. I am going to fast forward us a few days.
Okay.
The city is getting restored via magic, and is starting to look a little bit more like this. A little.
A little bit more like.
Yes.
Like what?
Like the first picture.
Okay.
Sorry. The first picture, and the temple has been cleared. And what Alexandra had done in giving up of her life and sending that holy fire shattered the pillar of energy. And the dwarves are in the busy rebuilding it according to pictures and memories of what the throne room used to look like. In the meantime, Rothgar's people have all sworn their loyalty privately to Jaylin as a pack, and had kind of a wolf ritual where it was just them and Kethra. A couple of girls are brought forward who'd been hidden in the city, who are also wolf-blooded, and their mothers were priestesses. And so Kethra is going to get some charges and some people to start training herself. But in kind of a makeshift open where a market had used to been, and right now has just been cleared. Jaylin is going to have his coronation. Jaylin, what have you instructed everyone to do at your coronation regarding Kethra? And have you popped her the question?
No, he's actually going to do that at the coronation.
At the coronation. So if you will, paint a picture for what the coronation
I don't know.
Okay.
And he doesn't see it?
Okay, fair enough. He doesn't see it. So Kethra, I'm gonna go over to you. Jaylin is sitting kind of in a throne that's been carved out of the tree.
Okay.
And he is kind of just sitting there, kind of musing, kind of pulling at the clothes that you've gotten him put in.
Because they're uncomfortable. It's just like...
And you see flying in a small, familiar-looking dragon that's flying in with a very familiar-looking druid on his back.
Aww.
And the dragon lands and kind of like lifts up one paw and like gives a little motion. And after Mathin has gotten off and starts approaching you, Iago changes form back to a boy. And he looks about a year older than he did when you last saw him a week ago.
Oh.
And he walks right up to Jaylin, who's sitting there. And Jaylin,
yeah.
You feel someone reach out and touch your leg.
Oh.
They don't say anything.
Uh-huh. Yes?
And he goes, "Did you miss me?"
Iago gets pulled up into a bear hug.
And he just wraps his arms around him and like kind of nestles in. And he goes, "Mathin fixed me." It took a little while.
We all just look at Mathin. Oh, really?
Jaylin whispers, I hear he's good at that.
Yeah, he is. And he goes, "We wanted to be here to celebrate today. We can't stay, but we wanted to be here today."
Then spend the day as honored guests.
He goes, "Okay." And he goes, "I brought a present for Kethra, but I want you to give it to her."
He goes, "What is it?"
And he slips something into Jaylin's hand.
Uh-huh. I have an idea what this might be. Oh, I'm getting a message.
And he grins and he goes, "I made that."
Because you are brilliant. And he's palmed it. He could, and he's going to stand. Well, he's going to help Iago down, and he's going to stand. And he asks Kethra to step forward because he can't go see her.
And she just okay. Does as she's told, which is rare.
And he goes, if you will humor me for a moment here, may I have your hand?
Okay, and she reaches forward with her hand.
And he's going to take her hand, and then he's going to kneel while holding it. And he goes, I kind of cheated by asking the question first. And he slides the ring onto her finger.
And she just laughs and is like, you're lucky you're cute, scrub. And she's gonna like get down on her knee and just say, of course, and she's gonna kiss him.
And as the two of them are kissing, trumpets go off, the restored church tower, the temple to bell. They actually ring a bell, and people cheer, and this is where we end.
Up first.
But first,
Elle's just jumping on Mathin's back.
Oh, reunited.
Yeah.
And it feels so good.
Yes. And Mathin, you have an L on your back. Arms wrapped around your neck.
You know what? He's gonna try and shake her off, but when he does, turn around and scoop her up into a hug.
So a detail that I did not describe is the fact that the ring is not a metal band. It is actually polished emerald, the entirety of the ring.
Oh, wow.
Iago was being literal when he said that he made it.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, God.
And
Aw.
this is the end of this particular Dungeon World campaign.
Yay! I actually hated all of you sacrificing yourselves, each and every one of you.
Fuckers. We had a death pact.
Yeah, Jaylin wasn't gonna let that happen. And yeah, the blind wolf king lives on. That's a good ending.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like
I
it.
mean, I certainly didn't see that ending coming.
Well, we're gonna keep making these blind jokes, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We will be resuming in a week from Tuesday
Yes.
with a 9 a.m. Changeling / Werewolf 20th edition World of Darkness game from 9 to noon on Tuesday.
Yes. So for those of you who like tabletop, it will be moving from Sunday to Tuesday, and it won't be this Tuesday, but it'll be a week from Tuesday. So we'll do an hour of our Reset Day 14 stream, and then move into a World of Darkness campaign for our next little season. And I want to say thank you for coming along for the Dungeon World ride. I love this system. I've always loved the system, and yeah, we kind of made it our own as we played, but that's actually probably the best part of it, is that you can do that.
I agree.
This will be the conclusion of these character stories for now. That does not mean you won't see them in the future. Yeah. So thanks again, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. Normally after the session we would handle XP. But that's done.
There is no XP to...
There's no XP to be had. Aww.
Can I have blowing myself up EXP?
Because
Yes, you can.
Jaylin was actually, I'm going to show you guys on stream. Jaylin was actually 1 XP away from the max level of 10. He didn't. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So he ended up actually wrapping this session up at level 10.
Very cool.
Yeah, like he hit 10 to wrap up the season. Yeah. So that's That's cool. That's cool. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for our next stream. And I'm gonna shoot a host over to somebody, but no raid today. Thank you guys again. And yeah, until next time, stay beautiful and bye.
Bye.
Everybody.
And also OTEP.
Yeah.
Yay!